Get a £5 free bet every week with Offer Club from William Hill. Simply stake a total of £20 or more across the week on pre-match football accumulators with 4 or more selections, and you'll get a £5 free bet on the Friday. Join William Hill Offer Club on mobile or online now.
What are you laughing at?
No, I just remembered I saw some interviews from you from the other day in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I see you with your Givenchy jumper, one with the stars on it.
It's a t-shirt.
Oh, is it a t-shirt?
Yeah.
Sorry. And then that coat.
Oh, this one. How you doing?
Yeah, I just
It's
thought...
the fans. I'm so cool, mate, honestly. Really have found my youth again.
But you're 37.
Stone.
It went down well anyway.
That's
Nice
alright.
coat.
There was a lot of love in Vegas, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. Getting chased through the MGM for media interviews by people like you.
Oh.
It's quite good. Very tired though, just got off a plane. So...
Heart bleeds for you.
I only slept 7 hours on the plane.
Let's start with Vegas. It was I wouldn't call what happened a robbery.
No, that's actually quite surprised me that people were going down that line, because I've never known a fight where so many people had it scored so differently. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I was sitting next to Bellew Jack and Ashley Theophane, and I had the fight 1 round to Ward, and they had it like 2 or 3 rounds to Kovalev. And then I went over to Paulie Malignaggi, who had it like 3 rounds to Ward, which I couldn't see that. Like, if you gave it to Ward, you had him just nicking it, and that's how I gave it. But so many people had wide Kovalev, like 3 or 4 rounds. I hardly gave Kovalev any of the last 6 rounds of the fight. And I thought that he kind of threw it away. I mean, maybe that was because of the brilliance of Ward. But I just felt like when he dominated him for those first couple of rounds, if he would have stepped on him, I think he might have had a chance of stopping him. But he let Ward frustrate him. He did all the things that I thought he would do. But obviously the first few rounds didn't play out as anticipated. After 3 rounds, I thought Ward had absolutely no chance in this fight at all. Oh, how wrong was I? I'm just going to come around here a bit. That's better.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Kovalev did win the fight by 2 rounds. But I don't think it was a robbery.
No, it wasn't. It was a very close fight.
I call robbery when someone gets done by, like, you know...
Yeah, but, I mean, Darlis Perez, that was a robbery. He won. I didn't win in virtually every round. They gave it a draw. But it was obviously in America. There was more noise for Ward. And a lot of those close rounds, when the crowd are on their feet at the end of those rounds for Andre Ward, it can just make a judge go, Ward, right or wrong. It's just life, isn't it?
I like the way some people like blaming you and saying you're biased as well.
I got one today going, I saw you were in Vegas. Oh, what a coincidence. The best one was that I got a bollocking from some like boxing fan website, because I said that ring walks were 4 a.m. and they ring walked at 4:32, and it's a disgrace that I said that. So,
yeah, because fans set their alarms.
yeah, but on the TV sheet it said earliest times for ring walks 4 a.m. So because Darlis Perez fight went the distance, if I would have said 4:30 and they ring walked at 4:05,
you're better off going earlier.
No, but that's what it said on the TV sheet. But it wasn't my show, and I didn't know any of the judges, and I didn't have any fighters on the card. So, but I guess there's some blame for me somewhere in it. But
I noticed people kept sort of asking you, why are you here?
No one asked me that, but
I saw some videos like...
Oh, what, like media?
Yeah.
Just thought it was a good fight. Just said...
So you went out as a fan, really?
I did the deal with Sky.
You always do the deal.
Of course, always. And actually, they should have said I was promoting the fight, more or less. Because that fight would never have taken place without me. I just want to make that one thing clear. But I did the deal with Kathy Duva to put it on Sky. So I just went. I thought it was a really good fight. I was there as a fan. Had a few meetings while I was there. Saw loads of fighters. Saw loads of media. You know, went on Friday afternoon. Come back first thing Monday morning.
Where did they seat you?
I was about 7 rows back, 6 or 7 rows back in the middle.
Who were you sitting next to?
Bellew Jack and Ashley Theopane.
Okay.
Deontay Wilder was 4 rows behind me, which I thought was a liberty.
WBC heavyweight champ.
Lennox Lewis was right in front of me. Who else did I see there? Gennady was there. Ishii Smith was there.
Ishii Smith.
Yeah, him and all. He came. Yeah, it was good. Poor atmosphere. Just.
Are you comparing it to your own shows?
Yeah. Just weird. But you know, one of the problems is 8:30 PM ring walks. People haven't had enough chance to get the beers in, have they? It's true though, isn't it? If we did our main event 8:30 at the O2, similar. I mean, it wouldn't be like that, but obviously by 10:30 everyone's rocking and the old Sweet Caroline comes on. Everyone wants to have a good time.
Have you ever suggested to them Sweet Caroline?
Tell you what,
Out there.
it would probably go down well. They need something. I don't know what it is. People are like sitting there with their dinner on their laps, eating it. You know, it's weird. I don't know. Like the media kept saying to me, this is so Ricky Gervais, Eddie, you know, you're amazing. What is it that makes you so amazing? And I say, well, atmosphere. No, but they can't get their head around why it is like it is in the UK and it can't be done in America.
And
they said, what would you say the main difference is? And I said, vis-a-vis me. No, not really. I just said, I don't know. I just think people, I don't know, music, general mentality of the British sporting fan, which banter is important. Alcohol is also important. I bought 2 vodka cranberries at the T-Mobile Arena. How much was it?
For the 2?
Yeah.
$30.
$70. That's nearly 60 quid.
Did you specify what vodka you wanted in there?
No. But maybe you can't get drunk in these arenas because the prices are too expensive for the alcoholic beverages.
£1 a pint at your shows?
Not quite.
Not quite. Alright, a few things to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, interviewed Lee Selby
Mm-hmm.
at George Groves' fight the other day. His brother was obviously on the bill.
Mm.
Can you just clear up exactly the situation regarding why it didn't or isn't going to or could happen between Warrington and Selby? Because Team Selby say one thing, and obviously Josh has seen this interview and he's kind of reacted to it. So
basically, it's no different to the interview I've given previously about this fight. There was an opportunity to box Lee Selby in July. The stadium wasn't available, as in Ellen Road, which we'd like to hold it at. So we looked at doing it in the arena. Steve Wood and Josh Warrington's dad, who was his trainer, head trainer, felt that he wouldn't be ready or in the right frame of mind for that fight. He was getting married, his head was all over the place sorting out stuff for the wedding, and Josh Warrington wanted the fight. No doubt, every fighter wants that kind of fight. It's a chance to win a world title and it's a big payday. But Steve and the dad felt that he wouldn't be as well prepared as he could be at that time for that fight. So we made the decision we wouldn't progress with the fight. We're in a position now where Lee Selby still hasn't boxed. Josh boxed, obviously, in July. And now it looks like Lee's going to fight his mandatory, which could be on the Santa Cruz Frampton card, possibility. And then we can look at a spring-summer fight. But as I said in the interview, maybe Josh missed the boat for that fight. But they felt, and perhaps rightfully so, that they haven't prepared all this time invested all this time and dates and performances to take a fight when they don't feel they would have been 100% right for. So that's it basically. What else do you want to know?
Well, so it doesn't obviously come down to the fact of specifically they
want the fight.
They
want the fight, but they didn't feel like that was the right time to take the fight. Josh would have, if up to Josh Warrington, he would have taken that fight. But he doesn't really. He's not the only one that makes the decisions. And as I said in interviews before, maybe they've lost the opportunity of that fight. Maybe they haven't, but they made the decision based on whether they felt they would be ready for that fight, and the answer was no.
Okay. We saw a tweet from Chris Eubank a week ago saying that he'd spoken to you or Joshua about potentially being on the December 10th card. It's been a while since then, so has there been any movement about him possibly being on the show?
No, I mean, I spoke to his lawyer and seen he was trying to get hold of me. And they asked about going on that card. I said, one, it's full, and two, you haven't punched for 8 or 9 months and you've got 3 weeks of training left. And I said, look, you need to get a schedule together rather than just jumping on cards with 2 or 3 weeks notice. And the only one that gets a stick is me, because they ain't going to want to have a serious fight. They just want a load of money for an easy fight. And in 2017, that has to change. Not just with Eubank Jr, but for all of boxing. Because the only person that gets a stick is the promoter and the broadcaster. And generally, I don't even want to put those fights on. But sometimes you have to develop a fighter in the right way. But most of the times, you've got to understand, managers, advisors, and sometimes fighters, but fighters are certainly more braver. They want the easiest fight available for the most amount of money. So what good's that for boxing and for the fans and for the spectators? Not at all. So we can't be just sticking them in wars left, right and centre, because they've got to be progressed properly. Certainly you get to a stage, and when you want mega money, you have to be in the mega tough fights. But for me, there's too many, and 2016 was a year where I've definitely been too soft in that respect, of agreeing to fights that I probably shouldn't have. And sometimes it's not good enough. So some fighters need to be progressed at the right pace, but other fighters need to step up and take proper fights. And I think that is an opinion shared by other promoters as well, not just by me.
Can you give us an example?
Of what?
Of a fighter or fight that you possibly put on and you didn't want to put on?
Well, there's probably been quite a few. But you've got, having a big stable of fighters is very difficult to manage, because everybody's at different stages in their careers. Everybody, someone might be coming off a loss, someone might be coming off an injury, someone might be coming off, a couple of bad spars or bad confidence, and you speak to a manager or an advisor, and they'll say, I'd go to a fighter and say, this is the fight I think we should make. Great fight, blah, blah. Yeah, we're up for that one, but just give us, we want one more. Just get us out in an easy 10 rounder or something like that, and then we'll go into that fight. But who's that good for? The fighter only. Like I said, the only one that will get criticised is the broadcaster and the promoter for putting that fight on. So you've got to find the balance between developing the career of a fighter properly and at the right pace, and also making sure you provide quality content for your broadcaster. And it's very difficult to do, especially when you've got a huge stable.
So, in a nutshell, he won't be on the bill on the 10th?
No, he won't be.
Okay.
Doesn't mean we won't work with him in the future. I don't rule that out. I think he's a good fighter. But they've got to be proper. If he wants big money, they've got to be proper fights.
Okay. Obviously, a week ago, we saw the announcement of Boxnation and BT Sport. Your thoughts on that? What does it do for boxing? What does it do for you and Sky?
It wasn't a secret. Obviously, this has been in the pipeline for a couple of months, or word of, and also with the ITV deal as well. Still waiting to see if that one goes into fruition. I think it's great for boxing. I think it's good for me. I think it's good for Sky. I think it probably consolidates our business a little bit. Like I said, we've had so many fighters that we've not taken on, or we're trying to provide for everybody. And when I first heard the news, honestly, the first thing I thought was a weight off my shoulder, because I know there'll be other opportunities for fighters who are either with us or sort of semi with us. And I think it will make everything even more competitive, because Sky will want to make sure they're the dominant force, which hopefully will mean even more money for us to spend on shows and to spend on our fighters. You've got Channel 5 are out there, just did a show. You've got rumours of ITV coming in. So I think more and more broadcasters looking at boxing, and I think it's great. I think it's great for boxing.
So what would be a concern of yours as in regards to your fighters, if, for example, not pinning anyone out, but if someone felt that they were being neglected or not getting enough fights, exposure, etc.?
I think if you can't be with Matchroom, or you can't get the right treatment from Matchroom, then that is a great alternative for you to box on there. That's what I think. And there must be some fighters with Matchroom who maybe haven't performed how they've wanted to perform, or we've wanted to perform, that maybe think, oh, Eddie don't care about me. And maybe they're looking at it going, I still think that every fighter wants to be a pay-per-view fighter. We have the most lucrative pay-per-view model. So the top guys are all got their mind and focused on that. The younger guys now have the option to look at an alternative platform. It's not just the platform, it's the promoter. The platform, I know they've talked a lot about it's the biggest, numbers and exposure and all this. The numbers on BT are poor in relation to Sky. It's not to say they won't grow, but it's not just the broadcaster you've got to look at, it's the promoter. And it's the business behind the promoter. It's the credibility. It's all kinds of different things. So who do you trust? If you're a young fighter, do you believe Matchroom are going to develop you in the right way and make sure you get paid? Or do you think Queensbury will and Frank Warren? You'll have to make that decision for yourself. But it's made me have a little spring in my step, because I like competition as well. Now, I'm not saying it's been easy over the last 2 years, but we haven't really had much competition, have we? Now we have, or we might have. And, I think it's going to be interesting times.
So if a fighter comes to you, I think we all know who your top fighters are in your stable, but
our top fighters, I want fighters that have the ability and the potential to become world champions. And if they don't, then I don't necessarily think they should be with us. So, and I want fighters who ultimately can grow into stadium fighters, pay-per-view fighters, and if you can do that, then there is only one place to be, and that is with us. Plain and simple. If you can't, then there might be better options out there for you. So what I'm looking to do is even consolidate our stable and just work with the elite, or those who I feel have the ability to be elite. And doesn't mean if they're not elite after 10 or 12 fights, they can't be elite. We want to bring all these, probably look to sign 4 or 5 amateurs in the next 2 weeks. And we will have to develop, invest, as we done with the last GB cycle, with all these guys. Box them 8 times a year, box them all over the country, all over the world, hoping that they get to the level. And when you look at the last cycle of fighters, Anthony Joshua, Luke Campbell, Callum Smith, Martin Ward, Cowie Yafai, Scotty Cardle, Gamal Yafai. I hope I haven't missed one, maybe. But that's the last cycle of GB fighters that we grew with. You've got one world champion, another one's number 1 in the WBC, about to fight the winner of Bellew Jack and James DeGale. Callier Fire, about to win a world title, I believe, on December 10. Luke Campbell, believe will win a world title in 2017. Martin Ward, British champion. Gamaliel Fire, Commonwealth champion. Scotty Cardle, British champion. So they've all done really well. We've progressed them in the right way, and we've given all of them the opportunities to succeed, and we will give them the opportunity to see how far they can go. Now it's a new cycle of fighters coming through. So who are we going to take? Back then, we were signing everybody. Now, we have to be very, very careful who we sign to make sure that we can give everyone what we want and what they want.
So just going back to what I was going to say, if a fighter does come to you and says to you, look, I'm thinking about going to BT Sport and Boxnation, blah, blah. So what do? You just assess whether you think that fighter can have a working relationship with you on that elite level. If they don't, then you...
No, I think if a fighter comes to me and says, look, I don't really think I'm a priority for you. I think there might be better opportunities for me on Boxnation. And I've had this offer, and what do you think? I'll look at it and say, I think that's a good move for you. If you can't become a stadium sellout fighter and a pay-per-view fighter, perhaps we're not for you. Perhaps. But again, it's not just about, is it Sky, is it BT? It's who is going to be your promoter. Do you want Eddie Hearn to guide your future? Do you believe he's the man that puts bums on seats and drives pay-per-view numbers? Or do you believe Frank Warren is that man? It's all kinds of different things. It's not just who's a promoter, who's a broadcaster. It's who do you believe in? Who do you think has the credibility? Who has the financial solidarity to make sure that you get what you're promised? So, but I think I'm relaxed, and I think you'll see more stable fights as well, because there is a better relationship between us and Queensberry. Don't get me wrong, me and Frank are always trying to compete, but we've made fights in the last couple of months. I was speaking to him last week about Paul Butler against James McDonald. That's a fight that could happen. They've offered that, and I've no problem providing the package is right for Jamie, taking that fight. They come on for Campbell against Flanagan, stuff like that. So I have no problem. If we can't keep everybody happy. So if there's good opportunities for stable fights, and hopefully the other way as well, not a problem either. I think
That's refreshing to hear.
it is, and our relationship's a lot better now than it was. Might change in 6 months. But I think there's also what I said earlier about an understanding about fighters being overpaid for fights that aren't doing anything for the show, the gate receipts, or the audience numbers. So, when you sit down with someone and say, right, I'm going to put you on this card, I'm going to give you 50 grand, and you're going to defend your title against this guy, and you are a 50 to 1 on shot to win the fight, and by you boxing on the bill, there will be no increased ticket sales, and the broadcaster is not interested in this fight at all. So if this fight is costing me 70 grand, what is the value in that? The value in that is I'm progressing your career, I'm giving you the fights you want, I'm paying you well, but on the flip side is I'm getting moaned at. Broadcasters going, I'm not even interested in this fight. Does that make sense? So I'm not saying you've got to go in this fight, and this is happening in America, by the way. Like, you look at the PBC model, they bowled out, gave everybody an absolute fortune for easy fights, and then went, this is the worst business ever. Stop. Now you're in real fights for less money. That's a harder thing to do. How do I go to you? You're on a job, right? And you're on 50 grand a year. I come to you and I say, right, quit that job. I've got a new job for you. It's much harder, but I'm going to put you on 30 grand a year. You look like you're falling asleep. Are you even following my rabble?
I'm listening.
So I think there's an understanding on all sides of the Atlantic and in boxing business that if fighters want good money, they've got to be in fights that sell, and they've got to be in fights that people want to see.
So, are there anyone who's in your
Is there anyone?
Alright, what are you, the fucking grammar police?
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Language like
Sorry.
that.
Sorry.
My mum watches this channel.
Sorry, Mama Hearn. Is there anyone in your current stable that you believe that could potentially move either to Frank Warren and BT Boxnation or go back to them?
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I haven't really thought about it, but if you're not happy with us and you don't think we're the right people to guide your career and maximise your earnings, yeah, I guess there might be some, yeah. But just there's guys I know that are with him that want to join me, so it's no different, you know. Just as a lot of the Frank Warren fighters want to be with me and with Sky, but now there might be fighters with us who say maybe I'm not getting the attention and maybe I should look over there. It's just like it's football transfers, isn't it? I mean, it's where you want to be, where you feel you're going to be best looked after, where you feel you're going to get paid, and who you think's right to guide your career. But on the whole, I think it's really good, really good. And again, it's great when I can go back to Sky and say, "Oh, you've seen this? Come on, you've got to get more money, more international fights for us, please, and more money for our shows, more money for our fighters. Come on." It's much easier to do that when you've got more competition. Otherwise, I sit there and say, "Why have we got to put more money in? We're the only people showing boxing." What are you laughing at?
Nothing, yeah.
Why?
You make me laugh sometimes.
Oh, that's nice.
No,
it's cute.
I'm listening to what
It's
you're
cute,
saying, but you do. You're very passionate about what you do. I love it.
You do, don't you? You
Love
just
it.
want to squeeze my cheeks.
Love it. So obviously this week you've got Wembley.
We've got Katie Taylor, tomorrow in Dublin.
Yeah.
So excited about Katie Taylor. And I watched Clarissa Shields on Saturday. It was the best fight on the card. And Katie Taylor her style is really exciting. Won't talk it up too much. Just tune in on Saturday night, and I think you're going to really enjoy watching her fight. Got some really good fights on the card, really good fights. And I've seen a few tweets, there's not a lot of big names on the card. No, I agree with that. But what there is are guys who we're looking to take to the next level. People like O'Hara Davis, in a really tough fight against Andreas Scarpa. A fight well out of his levels where he's been operating. But we feel, Tony Sims feels, that O'Hara Davis is an exceptional young fighter. And we're going to find out. See, this is what I'm talking about these fights. Now you've got a fight where, we've been investing in O'Hara, sending him over to Germany to box, costs a lot of money. But they're willing to roll the dice probably 4 or 5 fights earlier than others, you know? So let's find out about O'Hara Davis. And I'm really excited to find out. Got young Martin Ward against Ronnie Clark for the British title. You've got Ben Hall against Carson Jones, which is another fight where, that's an even bigger exaggeration of how far beyond the levels that is. Really tough fight for him. You've got Reece Bellotti against Ian Bailey, hopefully for the English, because it's just been vacated. It was an eliminator. You've got Ted Cheeseman against Lloyd Ellett from Brighton. And again, that's Cheeseman's had his apprenticeship. Now he's going in a 10-rounder in a tough fight. Let's find out. Jake Ball against JJ Madonna. Good fight. Stepping up the levels for him. John Wayne Hibbert will now fight Martin Geffin, which is about to announce actually. It's a good replacement fight. Katie Taylor, of course. And Danny Dignam debuting. Craig Richards. Felix Cash. So, it's a really good show. Tickets are gone well.
Just going back to John Wayne Hibbert, what happened with Tommy Coyle?
Tommy Coyle is looking at his training setup, and he didn't have the best preparation. To be honest with you, it was quite a brave decision. He wants to fight. He wants the money. He loves to fight, but his head was all over the place, and he was training here, training there, and he said, "Look, I just don't feel mentally right to fight." And I said to him, "Well, when you announce that you're not fighting," I said, "Well, what do you want to say?" He said, "Well, I can say that it's personal reasons or mentally I wasn't right." And most people would say I've hurt my hand, or I've got a little niggle. But he said, "No, I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to tell it how it is." So he'll box in February in Hull on our card there, and I think it was a brave decision. Most fighters would have gone through with it, boxed. He could have lost. You know, everyone would have wanted to get paid before Christmas, but he made the decision that I don't feel, and at this stage in my career, I have to be winning. I can't afford to lose at this stage in my career. So that was a decision that he made.
Anything with Haye and Bellew?
No. I think Haye against Bellew is unlikely.
What? Seriously?
Yeah, I think there's a chance, but I think we'll look at, there's Lebedev against Gassiev coming up, and that's a fight where Tony would love to fight Lebedev, and we've got Maris Bradis as well. I know Haye's looking at various other fights as well, so I do think there's a chance of the fight, but it's not something that could say we're close or we're nearly there or anything like that. But there has been talks, but I don't.
But you were quite positive a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I still think there's a chance, but certainly over the last week or so, nothing's happened that But these things can change like that. But I don't know. My gut feeling is Haye Bellew won't happen next.
God. So, what a bad start to 2017. We're not even in it.
Don't worry, we've got other fights coming. But you never know. It's a funny old game. But like I said, I think our focus at the moment will be more on Lebedev. Although Gassiev could beat him.
Gassiev could beat him. Could beat him.
So.
Is your card complete now, yes?
For
10th.
Yeah. So we've got Josh against Molina, White against Chisora, Yafai against Conception, Burton against Buglioni, Callum Smith against Luke Blackledge, Katie Taylor, Luis Ortiz will announce that opponent hopefully tomorrow. Scott Quigg, and again, we've been working on his opponent, which is very difficult because you've got the elite guys and you've got the average guys, and we want someone kind of towards the elite, but obviously he's come back from broken jaw. So that will be announced in the next couple of days as well. Marcus Morrison will be on the card. Burton against Buglioni, I think I said that, yeah. So again, I don't know how we're going to fit all the fights in. It's like Saturday. We're starting at 4:32, and I don't know how we're going to get all the fights in.
How many have you got?
We've got, I think, 12 fights, but the problem is we've got 1, 2, 3, 3 12-rounders, and 1, 2, 3, 4 10-rounders.
Could be a long night.
Yes. We need some stoppages.
You should do your incentive. Your little prize fighter incentive.
You can do it. Sponsored by IFL.
Does that mean we have to pay for it?
Of course.
Let them go the distance. Who's Ortiz going to fight? Who we think?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Good.
Better than Jakub Gospic.
Well, since he's mugging me off on Twitter, I've had to leave him out. I only gave him €1,000 to box Chisora, apparently. Dave
Allen?
What, for Ortiz?
Yeah.
No, not him.
Oh.
No, maybe Dave Allen. He wants it.
Oh, he wants it.
Yeah. So, why not give him a shot? Rather give a Brit an opportunity.
Allen against Ortiz
Now,
can't be
there's
worse.
probably not many Brits that want to fight Ortiz.
No, and it can't be worse than Scott and Ortiz.
What, Malik Scott?
And Ortiz.
Mate, that was one of the fights of the year. What are you talking about? It's a barn burner.
You're lucky you had a couple of other good fights on there.
Basically, imagine if that was like the only fight and there was a couple of like 10 rounds.
What was you thinking like after a couple of months?
So obviously it was live on HBO, right? And I said to HBO, you should take Smith Sosa as well. No, we'll just take Ortiz. Okay. So anyway, so I'm here and Peter Nelson's behind me. And then it's, Ortiz has got in the ring. I'm thinking this is going to be explosive. I'm sitting there. And then after about 30 seconds I'm going, alright Malik, slow down. Anyway, after the first round I'm thinking, Jesus, I hope this don't play out like this. Anyway, after about 4 rounds I'm going, oh no. And I can feel Peter Nelson behind me. And after 12 rounds I just turned around to him and I said, sorry. And he was like, it's boxing. You know, they're not looking at Lewis Ortiz just for the Malik Scott fight, but what can you do? What can you do? It's boxing.
Alright, well, we're going to Dublin tomorrow.
We are. And then Saturday for the show. And then we'll have 2 weeks off, and then the big one.
The big one.
The big one.
Alright, well, have you got anything else you want to add?
No, all good, mate. We'll catch up tomorrow.
Yeah. KUGAN CASSIUS, Edward Hearn, IFL TV. Maybe you should give the jacket away as a prize.
Leave it out.
2 bags.
What?
2 bags.
Do you know what? I bought it a while ago and I don't actually wear it that much. And I wore it in Vegas.
Did your wife buy it for you?
No.
Well, you picked it out yourself?
Mm.
Have you got a personal shopper?
Oh, come on, mate. What do you think I am?
I don't know. Well, I know
Have I got a personal shopper?
it wouldn't surprise me.
Don't be daft.
You got a pool cleaner? Have you not?
Not really. I haven't got a pool.
You got a butler?
I haven't got a butler.
That's a lie.
I haven't got a pool and I haven't got a butler. And I haven't got a personal shopper.
You got a butler? You have?
Butler?
Yeah.
What, who follows me around in a tux?
His name's Wayne.
Wayne?
Yeah. Because I've heard you on the phone. I've heard you.
Go on then, go on, come out with the bends, go on.
No,
what have you heard me say on the phone, Coog? Go on.
You've spoken to someone called Wayne.
Go on, what did I say? What did you hear me say to Wayne?
Something about dinner, I don't know, I can't remember.
Something about dinner?
Yeah.
Wayne! Can you put the casserole on, please, son? No.
Yeah, you got a butler.
Of course I haven't got a butler.
What have you got? You've got to have some rich man perk, like, that other people won't have. What have you got? I'm asking you, so it's not like you're bragging.
No. No, the only thing that I'm excessive about is probably my pants. We've had this conversation.
What, so you got a what? Pant
I like
washer?
really nice pants.
No, but you must have something in your house that regular people don't have.
No, mate, I'd like to think I was just a damn normal guy.
Do you get Sky for free?
No, I don't. And this is a good point. Do you know I buy the pay-per-views as well on 2 different boxes in the house?
You don't? Seriously?
I don't get Sky for free.
Really?
Tony Bellew said, you know, if I get this David Haye fight on pay-per-view, can you make sure they give me Sky Q?
Oh yeah.
Because if you're a pay-per-view fighter, you're supposed to get free Sky Q in the whole KUGAN.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Levels. But you don't get free Sky?
No.
Do you get free anything?
Like what?
I don't know.
Like every now and again someone will send me like some protein bars or something like that. Something, you know. That's about it.
Do you want free Boxnation?
Yeah, well, if they're giving it away, yeah.
I'll have a word.
Cheers, mate, if you could sort me out.
I'll ask Frank, because I'm sure he would.
Thanks, mate.
Because you always claim you don't watch Boxnation.
I don't have Boxnation. I've not watched it. I have watched it when someone's had it on a laptop or someone's had it on in a bar or something. Yeah, of course I've watched it, but I'm not subscribed.
I'll see.
Can you sort me out a freebie?
Yeah, I reckon if I asked them, they would do it.
Fair.
Me and Helder get it.
Do you?
Free Boxnation, yeah. Well, I get it. I don't know if Helder gets it. Anyway, you're gonna get free BT Sport now.
Are you gonna stay? Is your show safe?
Yeah. Okay. Why?
Just wondered.
Why wouldn't it be safe?
Because it's terrible.
What are you talking about?
The CASSIUS and Helder show.
What? If you've never watched Boxnation and you've never seen it, why would you say it's terrible?
I've seen it online. It's terrible.
Do you know what? For that, you watch, and it will happen. You have a poor show, I'm gonna fucking slay it publicly.
I don't care.
I am. Because I'm a little bit respectful when you have a show. I'm like, don't wanna.
Don't worry about it.
I can't believe you just come out.
I'm only joking. Do you know what? I told you take things too personally.
No.
You do.
If you ask
someone
me,
tweets you something like, "Oh, that was a terrible," oh, fuck off, mate. Like, don't watch it then. You got a real attitude.
That's what you tell people when they don't want to pay per view. Don't watch it.
No, I don't. I say you have a choice. When people say, "Oh, you're a con man," it's like, how am I a con man? I'm not taking the money out you. Even if you don't want to watch it, you don't buy it.
Oh, so you say the same as I do. If you don't want to watch it, and our
but it's the way that you do it. It's the way that you do it because you're very arrogant as well.
Yeah, all right.
No, being serious. A lot of people are talking about it at the moment.
Let's not even go with what people say about you.
I don't care what people say about it.
But
That's
you
the difference.
But you do.
No, I don't. And
You
you know
do.
full well that I don't.
No,
the difference is...
No, I know you do.
No, you don't.
Listen,
no, I don't.
What are you talking about? When people were calling
So
me...
you're doing it now.
What
Why are you
am I
doing it? Why are you getting all uptight? This is exactly this kind of situation, an example that I'm using. And now you're showing it off in front of the camera.
No, I'm just responding to what you're saying.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that, Edward.
That's fine. If you know, if that's how you feel. But just don't worry, get on with your own stuff. And
I do get on with my own stuff.
Why are you getting upset again? See, you're doing it again.
What are you trying to do?
See, no, but now you're getting all ratty. Your heartbeat's going up. I can see your palms are sweating, and now you're starting to get all aggravated. But don't start. You know.
No, but what's your point then?
I'm just saying. Just relax.
But what's your point?
Calm down. Now you're all upset.
I don't think are you messing around?
This is what I'm talking about.
What are you talking
Now
about?
you're going to go home. You're going to text me later going, Ed, you were out of order today. And then it's going to play on your mind. You're not going to sleep. You're going to wake up tomorrow. We're going to fly to Dublin. We're going to leave at 6:30 in the morning. You're going to be all ratty. Right?
Do you know what? I don't need to part with this.